Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video. So we have the upcoming Dokkan Frontier is coming up tomorrow. I expect people are probably going to be overwhelmed once they jump into it for a couple reasons, right? So there's going to be the new kind of like extra Dokkan Frontier right here. This is what it's going to look like, right? So like right now in game, it's just, you know, Super Saiyan Goku for DBZ. But tomorrow there's going to be the extra one, the Red Ribbon Army edition, and we're going to be able to use any characters to start team building. Now, I think that this is going to be kind of a big deal here, because if we head over here, we can now begin team building. So, I went to start team building a couple of days ago before the Goku and Cooler data download, and you could only team build with Namek characters at the time. It didn't even let you use other categories at all. Now it has updated. I just quickly built 2 teams just for the thumbnail of the video here. But I wanted to go in depth on this because, remember, it's 2 separate like teams in one. So let's just focus on this right here. So I just wanted to, again, for the thumbnail, I built a team around Beast and Metal Cooler, who are, you know, the 2 like newest like big time leaders right here, right? So Beast, remember, is a movie hero lead, and I was just like, whatever, like we could just go ahead and rock kind of like a full like movie hero type team, right? So I don't know that I really need to do too much explanation about anything going on with these characters, but I would for the Metal Cooler team. Okay, now we saw this with the Ginyu Force in particular in Dokkan Frontier. Here, I'm just going to sort by Terrifying Conquerors. Let's just sort by Terrifying Conquerors quickly. Okay, so we saw this where, in particular, there was the Int LR Ginyu Force, who, let me actually pull them up super fast. They are ridiculously restricted. And in trying to use them in Dokkan Frontier, I noticed how their restrictions weren't really being activated. So even though we have 2 teams, Metal Cooler in particular is a character to really focus in on his conditions. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to have Metal Cooler, so like it's not a bit, but I'm just using him because Metal Cooler has such a strict condition. And the only time I've ever seen Metal Cooler kind of, you know, bullied or beaten up or beaten down or anything is if we didn't have the Movie Boss or Wicked Bloodline category characters. So when we build Metal Cooler for Dokkan Frontier, we're still going to need to respect his conditions. So if you guys notice, that means we're able to only use 1 character. If we're going to use Metal Cooler in Dokkan Frontier, we only have 1 character who we could run who's not on the leader skill. Honestly, I used Deborah because he's a 220. This probably would work better with Goma. Goma here as the lead probably would work better. Now remember, we're looking at Terrifying Conqueror. There are dozens of Terrifying Conqueror leads, right? Like we have several, like we have 4 who are going to be really good for this. Now I would assume a lot of people probably don't have LR Turles. You know, you probably don't have Metal Cooler, right? Players might not even have Garlic Jr., who is a pretty, you know, kind of like good option here. It depends, but like there's going to be a lot of characters that players aren't going to have. Now, keep in mind, so here, let me switch over to this quickly. In order to get, there's tickets you can get, right? So the Tanabata banner drops tomorrow. You'll be able to get, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta are on it. I assume people will get them with red coins, but then there's also tickets you can get for free, and some of these tickets here, at least one of them is to do a node in Dokkan Frontier, so people are going to be going in there. I mean, it's only clearing node 1, which I imagine isn't going to be very difficult, but I figured doing a team building video. I usually don't like doing team building videos too much, because the thing about team building in Dokkan, you guys would have noticed this. It doesn't matter, like, if you didn't build the team, it's just like people, like anyone, can have a preconceived notion towards, oh, that team is not good, because it's not the team you built. I've noticed this especially with Dokkan players. Even me, like, I'll watch, you know, Toon Rami or something like that, and I think to myself, like, oh my god, that team fucking sucks. But, like, Toon might watch me and then go, I hate the team he's running, right? Like, it's just kind of like a thing. So I usually don't really do this, but Dokkan Frontier I think is a little bit more particular. with the way we're going to want to use characters or something. I put a couple leads down. Let's focus in on Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because this is a character I think people could have. It's a powerful character. Again, you could get him with red coins tomorrow when Dokkan Frontier drops. So remember, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, his leader skill is Daima, Goku Family, and Battle of Fate. But keep in mind, we need 2 leaders here. So doing it that way, probably not the smartest. Let's just lower it down to just Daima for now, right? So we definitely want mini Goku right there. And I think maybe going into Goku Family could be good. So this is where characters who don't have restrictions at all can really, really come into play in a massive way, right? So here, we already talked about, I don't want to focus too much on like metal cooler type stuff, because people are not going to have metal cooler, so it's pointless. Oh, by the way, I pulled this up because remember, there's stuff like this right here for their intro, and then there's also the active. That's how I figured out or found out that like the whole team counts for restrictions like this. So you know who's a good example of a character? Players, I think, probably won't have this guy either, but he's a good example of one of these characters with these restrictions, is AGL God Goku, right? Where, his revive, let's take a look. So survival mode is for Dokkan Frontier. So he needs 3 Realm of Gods allies on his rotation, or 6 or more pure or hybrid Saiyans. See, it still counts the other team. So this is where, like, Dokkan far exceeds what its original purpose is. I've talked about this, right? Like, the difference between Dokkan and Legends is you could just casually play Dokkan, like, at the gym or something like that, like, in between sets, whereas, like, Legends, it's like, you're sitting down for, like, a PvP match. But now, the game at Dokkan has become, like, Iron is right. The game has become so complex with these kits, these restrictions, it's just very difficult, right? So, you always do want to just keep a mental note, I would say, of characters like this guy, who has no restrictions. You just run, I mean, I guess there's this, but like, this is, number one, this is barely even a restriction, and number 2, UI Goku, like, doesn't need Vegeta to be good, right? Vegeta is kind of, I'm not really too impressed with the Vegeta side, but anyway, blah, 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 blah. So, like, that's what we just might do right here. So maybe we just go like this, bam. So, like, remember, we're in Dokkan Frontier, right? For the first turn, whoops, sorry. It's because I use that as, like, well, hard to explain, whatever, blah, blah, blah. UI Goku, like, we could rock him in turn 1, the first rotation, and then after that, we could, move him to slot 3, right? Now, keep in mind, Dokkan Frontier is very challenging in, let me just pull up just one of these bosses. Let's just pull up Node 1 right here, right? So, yeah, we could, okay, look at this. Key Disruption. So, remember, Dokkan Frontier, all these different fights have these different intensity levels, which will, like, so Key Disruption will, who that fucks unbelievably is this guy. This guy, like, Key Disruption is going to be a nightmare for Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So, honestly, looking at this, I mean, I'm sure not a lot of people play Dokkan Frontier like I do, where I've got everything pulled up and we're kind of looking and shit, right? But, if you, like, so some nodes, like maybe one of these, yeah, here you go, dodge can't, so the Muscle Tower one, dodge is canceled. So, we don't want to focus on Goma, Dabura, UI Goku, right? This is where we're going to want, this would be good for the Beast team to take down, right? Where, so, like, if we take a look here, let me just accept this for now, and then we go and look up, and I did kind of like my movie hero setup. The only character who needs to dodge would be Gamma 2. All right, and then remember, swap him back and forth and stuff. Oh, a quick note I want to make about AGL Golden Frieza in here. And this is relevant because this is a character everyone's going to have, right? So let's just pull up Golden Frieza quickly. So keep in mind with Golden Frieza's intro right here, look at this, look at this, look at this. So he gets his 90% damage reduction, and remember, he loses that as turns pass. You could, so look at this team we have right here. Again, I don't want to focus too much on Metal Cooler because I know people aren't going to have them, but, like, we could rock the first lineup in there. Now, you could just be using Cooler, Physical Turles, like other characters like that, right? Blah, blah, blah. You do, like, turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you switch turn 5, right? Or, like, deep into it, and Golden Frieza is going to have his full damage reduction up. So AGL Golden Frieza actually could be a A+ character in Dokkan Frontier if you use them effectively, right? So, and remember, there's so many teams we could be using, so many characters, so many restrictions, so many abilities. Like, there really is just so much we can kind of work with here. For the second part of this, I honestly, I might just go maybe with, like, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Maybe I'll just do Goma. And then for the last one, let me just take a look at Vegeta family here. Because Daima Vegeta, his leader skill is Vegeta family and Daima, right? So both of those will work well. And then for the last character here, I mean, I could just do like the Super Saiyan 4s, but I guess we probably would want a Saiyan Roar character for that. Oh yeah, Majin Vegeta is going to be an interesting character for this too. Right, remember the super class and the extreme class, like type of restrictions that character has. That's another unit that people probably won't have though. But remember, like all of these types of restrictions, this is still going to count the full team building, right? I'm actually not really too sure what I would want to do right here. I probably would want... like, this would actually work better if I did this and then put him right there. That would work a lot better. That way, and in Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, with his Rainbow Orb changing, could help us off to a fast start, giving Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku a ton of ki to work with. Yeah, so this really would work well. Okay, I wanted to go for characters, like good leaders that players are much more likely to have. So, I mean, maybe we could think about GDC last year. What about, like, GT Heroes, maybe? Or, you know, Fusion or something like that. Like, these GDC teams from last year. Maybe Omega Shenron, right? Because yeah, certainly we're going to be focusing on good characters here. You know, I know if we just go, all right, let's do Realm of Gods, and it's like, oh, yeah, guys, just have Beerus and AGL God Goku, and, like, you know, that's where it's going to be difficult there. All right, so Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is just a GT hero lead, so we certainly could use him. And honestly, I mean, we could probably bring him, the Super Saiyan 4s, and then I guess the physical Super Saiyan 4s probably would be pretty effective here. So would probably Int Gogeta. No, we should go Pan. Pan, that's a pretty nasty setup right there. And then Pan can just be continually generating the Rainbow Orbs for the Super Saiyan 4s. And then remember, like, so for the second side, we could just go completely different. Because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so again, remember, like, we have to be, like, keeping in mind a lot of these characters' restrictions and stuff. Pan has a restriction with GT Hero or Bond of Friendship, which is easily cooked. We got that done. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, whoops, I'm going a little bit off the camera right here, but here he is right here. You know, he just needs 2 more GT Hero characters. Boom, just on his side of the team, we do that. So for this second part of the team, we could do anything we want. Like, I could, for the second part of this team, just throw up, like, Movie Hero. We could just do Beast, maybe, like, AGL Ultimate Gohan. And then for the last one, I mean, we could do whatever we want, right? We go God Goku. We can go Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo would be huge. I don't think I really want to mess around. I don't know about messing around with the Int Piccolo in Dokkan Frontier. I think I might be good on that. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be clouding around with him in here. But I don't know. Like, there's many different things to go. I guess maybe just go him. Boom. Look how good. Like, so, like, we could do something like that. So, like, with Dokkan Frontier, I think that this is going to be very good now that we're not just restricted to these Namek-only lineups. You could get very creative, right? Like, let's build, like, a hero and a villain team. Well, I was going to do that with Omega, but the problem is Omega does have heavy restrictions. Yeah, Omega straight up needs to be on a full villain team. So, we couldn't build it around Omega. I don't know. I guess, I mean, we could use Rose. Like, we could go with Rose and Blue and do, like, some future-type lineups. That's certainly something we could do. I mean, sure, let's just try this. Let's look at Future. And we could run Blue Goku and Rose. I mean, they're certainly going to be powerful together. And then, what do we want to do for the last character? So remember, Future Gohan does have a restriction to keep in mind, and that's the bond of master and disciple allies that he's going to want. We could do tech androids. Their active skill would be very effective, right? For sure. Yeah, we'd have EGL Trunks. Again, the tech androids are an option. I think I might use Future Gohan. We'll build the secondary part of it as like a bond of master and disciple thing. I guess we could use Blue Vegeta. Blue Vegeta would be a good. Yeah. Wait, no. My brain is telling me, does Blue Vegeta have superclass shit? He does, doesn't he? I think Blue Vegeta might have superclass restrictions. It's in my head right now. All right, let's look at Blue Vegeta. Do you need superclass? So he gives Realm of God support. The attack debuffing could be useful. 3 superclass allies in the turn or an extreme class enemy. Okay, now, to be fair, I mean, if we would look at who we're going to be fighting here, well, Hachan is superclass, but the rest of them are villains. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about in terms of the team building here. I actually don't love that. We could use Blue Vegeta. I'd rather just have his ability up. No problem. Oh my god, Future Gohan would he'd probably be decent in here, huh? Or we could use Trunks. Or even VB. VB could give us orbs. Physical Vegito Blue. We could just go with that. And then for here, let's just go, again, Bond and Master and Disciple here. Which is this team right here. So there's a couple of different ways we could do. We could go with another, you know, like Beast. We could do UI Evolution Blue Vegeta. That would be good. We have AGL Ultimate Gohan available to us. Remember, Tech Beast Gohan is another character, by the way, who is not going to be bogged down by restrictions. You know, that's again, we want to really be thinking of those characters when building our teams. I mean, I could just do Orange Piccolo. That's not a bad setup, actually. Gohan and Trunks, Beast Gohan, and Orange Piccolo. That is like, I feel like that's a decent setup, actually. We probably don't want to clown around with Vegeta and Trunks, honestly. I don't think so. Maybe they could be good. It's hard to say. I mean, how difficult are these fights going to be? That's another thing, you know, a question I can't really answer at the moment. But, you know, just building a lot of different setups, a variety of setups like this. Here, we'll just fill in Realm of Gods here. I just put Beerus here. So let's just take a look at Realm of Gods. I mean, the thing is, Realm of Gods, with a lot of the EZAs and stuff, I do feel like a lot of players would be able to kind of like build this up. So let's just open up Realm of Gods here. I'm gonna get it up on the full screen. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is where Shen could be very useful. Blue Goku and Rose, I'm sure a lot of players would have them. You know, there's UI Goku Evolution Blue Vegeta as well. The Gods, which people love. Tech UI, you could clown around with. AGL UI would still be very good. Right, and we have Physical UI, AGL God Goku, Beerus, Tech UI, Int UI. There's just so many, like, leads. I do think building into Realm of Gods would be very, very smart to do. So, like, what I would probably do here is I'd just go Beerus, Whis, and then Beerus and Whis. That looks like that could be a pretty solid lineup. And then for the rest of it, I mean, we could just go in any direction with the Saiyans, right? Like, again, we have Int Blue Vegeta, Int UI Goku. We could do the LR Gods. We have Blue Goku. Like, there's just... the options are a lot. We can go in a lot of different ways. We just have to make sure, you know, if we're using Realm of Gods like this, just got to make sure we're not walking into one of these fights that has a quick dodge cancel. Now, remember, Dokkan Frontier, they don't just do that, by the way, like, oh, every fight is like level 1 dodge canceling. They do switch it up quite a bit, so that's why you're going to want to use a variety of teams, structure, like, you know, a team moving away from dodge when we go into, like, a dodge canceling one, right? That's where we're going to use Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Beerus is a great tanking character, you know, like, who's another one? like LR Turles, but he's not a character people are gonna have, right? You get what I'm saying. So for the second one here, I'll probably just go UI Goku right there. I might go in UI Goku. And then, man, yeah, there's so many ways we can go here. Blue Goku. Honestly, Dokkan Frontier is so nasty. I think I probably would get Blue Goku here. AGL UI Goku would be interesting. Let me just take a look at his, like, how is, because remember, so they would have filled in all revived characters would have this. So just have AGL oh, dude, you're not going to get this. That's just not happening. Because, I mean, if he gets hit once, he's probably just going to die, right? So AGL UI Goku's revive and Dokkan Frontier, probably not, right? Like, I doubt it. Int Vegeta might be interesting. Evolution Blue Vegeta. Just because, yeah, just get hit 5 times. Like, that's something, like, that could be solid. Like a revive like this, right? Then you can play a little loosey-goosey with him, and you could be good to go. So the last character, I do have Deborah here. Yeah, Deborah, this is a good one to build around, actually. So let me pull Deborah up, and let's close some of these tabs. We got 500 characters, you know, just a ton of shit here. I do want to keep them up, actually. Let's get rid of Golden Frieza. Let's get rid of HL God Goku. This is physical UI. Let's get rid of him. This is the cards again. Let's get rid of that. Panel missions we don't need anymore. Okay, Deborah. So look at Deborah right here. Intro. When 4 Buu Saga allies on the team, or the whole team is villain. So, it's, you know, we could run some superclass characters here, but then we would have to make sure 4 of them are Buu Saga. And remember, for some characters' restrictions, you know, typically, we're using 7 units. Remember, when you do normal content, you're 6 characters plus a friend character. In Dokkan Frontier, there's no friend characters, just the 6 characters. So, like, you know, Deborah's secondary condition here, Metal Cooler's condition, some AGL God Goku, you know, some of those conditions are a little bit tighter because you don't have the friend unit to count as well, right? So, here, I mean, this is pretty simple. Let's just go to Buu Saga here. I probably would just want to go Babidi and then Yakon for the Deborah Glaze team. That would work very well. By the way, Int Fat Buu would be very effective in here, I'd imagine. The only thing that could be a little bit, remember, notable, like if you're going to play Int Fat Buu to like, oh, let's just throw him in slot 1, he dies, then next turn we'll have the Ghost Usher. Remember, any slot 1 attacks would then be focused on the character in slot 2 before they attack. So it's like you do have to be a little cautious with that. Like we could put Fat Buu in slot 1 to die, but then we'd want to make sure Deborah is in slot 2, right? Who Deborah doesn't matter. Like Deborah's the god of one of the gods of the game, right? So yeah, like something like that. And then for the other side, maybe we just build into LR Majin Vegeta and Angel Goku. Now remember, for them, they do lead pure Saiyans, right? Majin Vegeta and Angel Super Saiyan 2 Goku right there. So we are going to want a Buu Saga ally. Probably I'd just go Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Because I'd probably want like another Saiyan with them. I do want to take this mode serious. So I think something like this probably is going to be solid. Okay. So what would we want to do for the last character? So again, remember, they're pure Saiyan. And we already made sure we have Deborah's condition as hit. 4 Buu Saga allies, we have 5. So for the last one, I mean, this is where you could get real lazy or real boring with it or whatever, but this is going to be a great way to win. We just throw UI Goku on there again. But I mean, remember, we might not want to build this team. Well, this team, you know, Yakon is a dodge character, Babidi's a dodge character, Deborah is a dodge character. You know, remember, Majin Vegeta is a tank, but then Angel Goku is a dodge character. So this is, of course, would be a team to like not potentially want. Maybe we'd want one side as dodge. Maybe for the other side, we would just want tanking. So maybe rather than him, we could go. You know, I don't hate the idea of the Int Super Saiyan 4s, honestly. I don't hate that. Just because at least they'll load in the first turn and give us the double orb changing, right? The rainbow orb changing to just get us started on a good foot. So, like, just, I don't know. Hopefully, I just want to make a video just kind of like talking about a lot of this stuff. because I can picture players going in there and getting fucking overwhelmed. I think it, like, the team building aspect of this can very easily be overwhelming because it's just structured much differently than regular content. I think this is going to be good and it's going to be fun because we could do, you know, something like, you know, like this theme right here where we're rocking GT Hero and Movie Hero as like the two different sides. Like, there's so many different ways you could go about this. I think that this actually should be really, really fun. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time.